Hey guys, what's up? Today we are taking a driving tour of Saginaw, Michigan. We're going to find out what downtown looks like. We are going to drive through some of the neighborhoods, some of the different areas of the city, and see what it's all about. So come along with me and let's see what's going on. Hey guys, today we are taking a ride in Saginaw, Michigan. This is downtown Saginaw. On the right side, you can see the courthouse, the church on the left. We are coming down Court Street here. We're about to turn right on Michigan. You see the Court Street Bridge is closed for repairs. So in this area here, you've got a lot of eateries, restaurants. Not a lot of residential right in this area. So we're gonna head down Michigan Avenue for a second here. Got an Oldtown distillery on the left there. So this is part of downtown, sometimes called Oldtown, Saginaw. A lot of iconic bars, restaurants, some old shops in this area. So as we turn left here, you're going to be able to see the silos from the old bean factory, and they paid to have the city paid to have those painted in that mural. They're really trying to improve the reputation of Saginaw. It took quite a beating in the 90s and early 2000s as one of the murder capitals of the country and probably the world per capita. They did a really, really nice job painting these. They paid one of the most acclaimed muralists in the world to do these. The Saginaw River's right on the other side of this. So we are on the west side of the river right now. Kind of see. Oops. city actually paid somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 million to have these painted. It really brightens up the riverfront. And it really adds a lot to the downtown skyline. We're gonna head back out onto Hamilton Street here. On the left, you can see Oldtown Junction, one of the bars and restaurants that is very popular down here. As we continue down Hamilton Street on the right, there is Hamilton Street Pub. They'll have live music in there. And then the green awning on the right is the stables. Very cool ski shop, skate shop, bike shop, snowboards. That business has been there for a long time. And then up here as we come back up toward Court Street, we've got a few more bars. Woody O'Brien's has a large tap selection. Retro Rocks is a really cool place, based around 80s, kind of 80s rock and roll music. They've always got videos playing in there, and the food is they've got a really cool menu. Also, another nice, more upscale restaurant in this area is Jake's. Jake's, you can get nice steaks and chops, and a lot of other things. Very cool, old school feel. Really kind of holding on to when Saginaw was in its prime. And there are a lot of people trying to bring Saginaw back. It is a lot of work. It was very reliant on the auto industry in its prime, and when the auto industry started shipping jobs overseas, Saginaw and Flint were hit pretty hard. So we're gonna go left on Michigan here, kind of come back past the courthouse. You see St. John's Episcopal Church there on the right. Another, there's a lot of old churches and buildings down here. It's just kind of a neat downtown area that, once was a destination. Today it's more for the locals. We just passed Oracle Brewing, a brewery that's been in town for maybe 5 years or so. Oldtown Distillery on the left is a newer business in the last few years as well. Mac's Place is another restaurant that's down here. We passed that on Hamilton Street. So there are a lot of places to visit down here, and it is, like I said, it's kind of catered for the residents of Saginaw and the surrounding areas. It's a different feel than a Bay City or a Midland downtown area will be. On our right is the Scottish Inn, just off Gratiot Road. And The nice thing about the Great Lakes Bay area, the Tri-City area, is you do get three distinctly different downtowns to check out. Thanks again for joining me, guys. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in making a move, give me a call or shoot me a text at 888-464-1660. I am a real estate agent and consultant, and I'd love to help you with your next move. So 888-464-1660. Thanks. Crossed over the river. Now we're on the east side of the river, downtown Saginaw. Point some things out over here. On the right hand side, we have Children's Zoo, which is a great place to visit. A lot of cool exhibits in there. A lot of animals that are native to Michigan, you can see in there. Great place to take the kids. On the left, we did have also the Japanese Cultural Center, which is a neat place to go. On the right, we've got White Park and Veterans Plaza. It's a nice park to visit in the summertime. Do have baseball. Sometimes they do have old-time baseball games in there, which is really cool. We're on Washington Street, if I didn't mention that. So up here on the left, I'll point it out, I want to talk about it a little bit, is the Saginaw, it's called the SVRC Marketplace, and it is an indoor market of a lot of small businesses, small eateries and restaurants, little shops and specialty businesses. Place where small businesses can rent out space for not a ton of money. Instead of renting a whole space, they get a booth or, you know, a small area. To display their, you know, their wares or their products, and or sell food. Kind of like a food truck, but a little more permanent space. It's a really neat place to visit downtown. We've got St. Mary's Hospital on the right, one of the two major hospitals in the city. Building right here on the left is where the marketplace is. They are trying to repurpose some of these buildings that have been empty in recent years as some of the businesses moved out. Spicer Group is in the building on the right. They do structural engineering surveying. Got a coffee shop on the right. Saginaw Valley State University has offices down here. On the left, it's kind of sad. One of the things that left town is the Bancroft and Bourbon and Company restaurant. That was a really cool place to go for a while. They just could not make it work any longer downtown. Temple Theater is a really nice place. They do special shows, plays, occasionally concerts in there. Old school theater. And here on the left, as we turn the corner, is the Dow. So the Dow is the home of the Saginaw Spirit, our local OHL hockey team. They also do comedy shows and concerts. On the right, they do have an outdoor concert venue. Very cool thing in Saginaw. Sometimes when teams like the Harlem Globetrotters are touring, they'll come and play at the Dow. So it is a small sports arena and concert venue. There are, the Dow and the Temple Theater on the east side of the river give you some cultural things and some nightlife options. And there are a couple bars and restaurants on this side, but not as many. Most of the bar, restaurant, and nightlife is going to be on the west side of the river. Of course, it's walleye season here in the springtime, and the river is busy with fishermen because the walleye are coming in. So we crossed back over the bridge. On the left side here, you've got the Saginaw Children's Museum, or the Mid-Michigan Children's Museum. Lots of cool things. We took our kids there many times when they were young. Lots of cool things for the kids to learn and do in there. Nice way to spend an afternoon. Come down. Come back down Michigan. From a little further north. On the right hand side, you've got Covenant Hospital. Bigger of the two hospitals in town here. From here, we're going to head over and take a look at some of the east side residences, or residential areas, I should say. Alright guys, we're coming into the Cathedral District on the east side of Saginaw. You see a lot of historically old houses. Big, beautiful houses. Some of them are in some disrepair. Some have been rehabilitated. It's an interesting area. Just east of downtown. Some cool architecture. Unfortunately, part of the reality for Saginaw, after the auto industry largely went away, has been a lot of low-income families. Which can lead, obviously, to a lot of rundown areas with houses in disrepair. And a lot of Saginaw is coming back. The east side is maybe a little slower than most of the areas to come back. Hey guys, so we're a little deeper on the east side of Saginaw, and what you do find on this side of town is lower prices, and this is, you know, bang for your buck probably one of the best rental areas, maybe in the country. You can buy houses in this area. I mean, in the last 6 months, the lowest closed home, the lowest price of a house that sold on the east side of Saginaw was $4,500. Obviously, that house needed a lot of work, but you know, when you can buy a house for that amount of money, you can get houses on this side of town that are livable for $50,000. And to turn around and be able to rent those houses for anywhere between $500 and sometimes, you know, up to $1,000 a month. That is a fantastic return on your investment. And people still need houses. They still need places to live. So it is a very popular place for landlords to buy properties. You find a lot of people over here that have lived here their whole lives. Alright, we are coming into Buena Vista Township, still on the east side of Saginaw. This is kind of on the edge of the city, I guess. So there's some different neighborhoods in Buena Vista. Some of them are quite rural. You're actually backing up to farm fields. And some of them are very similar to the east side neighborhoods. So Buena Vista is still very affordable. To give you some statistics, right now on the east side and Buena Vista there are 33 active listings. Active listings range in price from $10,000 to $155,000. And active listings, those active listings have been on the market for an average of 78 days. Sold listings, this is in the last 6 months, there's been 49 listings that sold. And they were on the market for an average of 40 days, the ones that sold, and the price range for the sold listings was, as I mentioned, anywhere from $4,500 on the low end to $205,000 on the high end. And that's all going to be obviously dependent on price, location, or well, yeah, the price is dependent on the location the condition. So we were coming from kind of a more rural area. Down one of these streets and you'll see more of the neighborhood view. You see, I think for the most part, the city has more mature trees, older neighborhoods. Buena Vista was kind of built up in the 50s and 60s. Whereas the city was really built up in the earlier 1900s. So you'll see more modern looking ranch houses out here. So lower prices, but as you can see from this neighborhood, everything's pretty well taken care of. There may be a few houses with some, some junk in the yard, they need a new roof. Maybe they've got a window boarded up or two, because it still is mainly a lower income area, but that doesn't mean people don't take care of what they have for the most part. When I work with investors, what I look for is just that. Are people taking care of their property? And if there's, if I'm on a street where 7 houses are boarded up, then obviously people aren't taking care of their property. But if I'm on a street, 2 or 3 streets over from that, and the entire street is well taken care of, landscaping's done, things like this, they're keeping their properties maintained. That's what I'm going to tell them. Like I said, as far as rental homes go, return on investment in this area is fantastic. head over to the west side now. Alright guys, now we are on the west side of Saginaw, in the city. Some of the residential areas on the west side of the city. And what you get on this side is a little more economic diversity. The cool thing about Saginaw is no matter where you live, there is a good amount of cultural diversity. I mean, everybody kind of lives together no matter what area of the city you're in. So on the west side compared to the east side, you get some more economic diversity. You get a lot of first-time buyers looking on the west side of the city. There's some different types of neighborhoods. You can see where we're at. These are bungalows and ranches built in the 50s and 60s. You know, after the last few years, prices in this area probably around 100,000, 100 to 150,000. In the last 6 months, we've had, where am I? Make sure I'm not going to hit anybody. Sold listings, the price range on the west side of the city has been anywhere from $17,500 all the way up to $385,000. There's been 159 listings that sold in the last 6 months in that price range, and the average days on market was 34 days. So as far as active listings go on the west side, there are currently 60 active listings, and they range in price from $37,500 up to $380,000. So obviously always dependent on location and condition. But there are neighborhoods on the west side where the same thing we talked about on the east side, the return on investment for rental properties is very good. But then you also get a lot of you get a lot of first-time buyers. There are, of course, lifelong residents that have been here. There are some neighborhoods where, they're very popular for young professionals, young singles, because the houses are a little more affordable. The young professionals tend to move out of the city when they have kids, a lot of them. Tell some of the streets are a little bumpy. But like we were talking about on the east side, people are taking care of their properties here. For the most part, even if they may not have the money to do necessary repairs, but at least they're cleaning up, they're keeping the outside cleaned up and taken care of. It is pretty early. We haven't really started mowing lawns and doing landscaping type stuff in Michigan. We're in late March here. But as you drive down the street, you can see that there is pride of ownership, pride in where you live. For most of the areas in Saginaw, no matter where you are. So we're crossing Court Street right here. We are just north of downtown Saginaw. As with any city, you're going to find that, there's a couple areas that have a little different vibe. Maybe as far as, you're going to have some more continuity in the houses. There's a neighborhood called Northmoor that has a lot of brick homes, kind of mid-century type brick homes that are it's a cool area. Whereas on most of these residential streets, you get what you're seeing, a mixture of bungalows and older, early 1900s 2 stories, colonials, stuff like that as far as architecture goes. But in Saginaw is a pretty old city for Michigan, and you do get, if you want, you can definitely find some of the classic architecture, whether it's early 1900s or more of the mid-century type stuff. I've been in this area for about, gosh, 13 years now, and it has really grown on me. I really like the city of Saginaw. So this is kind of that Northmoor neighborhood. Right here we're going to take a slight turn to the right, and there's the street that goes right down the middle, Delaware Street, and then these streets that go around are shaped like a football. But you can see not huge houses. A lot of brick. Sidewalks. It's just got a neat feeling, a neat vibe, I guess I should say. A lot of people like this area. Alright guys, thanks again for watching. Again, I'm a real estate agent and consultant, and I'd love to help you out with your next move. So if you're moving across the country, across town, across state, give me a call or shoot me a text, 888-464-1660. 888-464-1660. I would love to have a conversation with you and tell you about myself and my team and see if we are a good fit to work with. Thanks a lot.